There we go. Okay. Good morning. I'm just gonna give, hopefully, oh, Michelle, good morning. You're my first person. It's very exciting. I was trying to square up the screen, but whatever, it's fine. How are you this morning, Michelle? Are you excited for this weekend? Or today, I guess? It'll be fun. All right, I'm just gonna grab some white paper. Grab a dark piece because that'll be easier to see the stencil. All right. Just give everybody another minute or two. Are you getting crafty this weekend, Michelle? Good morning, Jennifer. I got up slightly late this morning. Oh, I hear you, Michelle. I'm actually kind of glad today I get to be crafty. Well, it's gonna be so much fun. I just need a day where I can just sit around in my pajamas all day, get crafty. Good morning, Mary Pat. Ooh, you just got your kit this week. I know, isn't that so pretty? Hello, Kimmy. All right, we'll give everybody till 9:04, which is like less than a minute, and then we'll start. It's not glitching on my iPad, but let me know. Is anyone else having that same issue? Okay, everyone's crickets, so oh, okay. All right, perfect. Okay, so welcome to today where our Saturday is going to be lit. We have some fun stuff in store for you. I get to be your sort of first class today. So we're just going to sort of go over what was in the kit that you got, and then we're going to go over sort of how to use the layering stencil, sort of like a back to basics sort of thing, and then we're going to make some ATCs. So you get your stamp, and this is the amazing stamp you get. Isn't it fun? I think it's so much fun. It kind of does remind me of you, Kimmy, though, with like the hair and the glasses, and yeah, but it's adorable. So that is the stamp, and then the fun stencil you get is a 2-piece layering stencil. Forgive me, mine's all inked up. So this is stencil number 1. They would need a map to use the stencils? Really? I mean, I guess I'm so used to your layering stencils that, I mean, they've got numbers on them. And then there's the second stencil. And I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's fairly easy to, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just me because I'm so used to using them. But, I mean, it's fairly straightforward, I think. But anyways, yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to go over how to use it. And I think that'll be good for everybody because it never hurts to have sort of a little back to basics. Okay. So Kim did also post, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Kim did post the link to the stamp and the stencil in the store if you have not gotten it and now you see it and you want it. It is definitely one that's going to be in my main drawer for the ones I'm going to be using a lot because it's just awesome. Because all my friends are readers and we always get gifts and this girl is going to get a lot of use. So that is true. If you don't know that there's numbers, you might miss them. That is true on the stencils. Okay. Anyways, okay. Besides the point. So you have two stencils. So this one here, this one is the bookshelf one. So there is a bookshelf bottom here and a bookshelf bottom here. Okay, and then you do the books in the order. So I don't know if you guys, I'm gonna have to, so there's a number 1 there, and then there's the number 2, and then there's number 3. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna do this layer first, you're gonna position this one on top, do this one here, and then you're gonna do that one as the third. So I did do a sample. There it is, okay. So as you can see, I've done red, yellow, and green just because they were very vibrant colors. They were easy to tell apart. So what I did is this. So the red layer is the first layer I did. Then the yellow layer was the second layer. And then the green layer was the third layer. And then I did the small sort of bookshelf on that. But we will do it together, just so you guys know. But I just wanted to show you, if we do it all as one color, this is sort of what it looks like, and this is how the books are put together. Sometimes it's also good to do the stencil, and then if you want to play with some of the colors, like if you wanted to do a rainbow one, you could, or if you wanted to do like half the red book, like red, and then the other half blue, at least then you know sort of what pieces of the books are going to show up what colors. Now the same goes for the second stencil. So we have 2 plants at the top, okay, and then you have your little numbers here. So 1, 2, so this is the bottom of the pot, the dirt on the pot, and then you have 3 and 4, and that creates the plant. The same thing with here. You've got your 1, your 2, your 3, and your 4. Now I did do, this is for my second class in the afternoon, but I wanted to show you sort of the plant so you could see it. So this one is this one here. And depending on what inks you can use, you can do light for the background or dark for the background and then a light on top. It's all personal preference. But this is just an example. And then you can add like little extra things to the pot to give it some dimension or to give it some personality. Okay, this stack of books here, I did, which ones did I do? Oh, right, this one here. So this here, so you have your number 1. So the number 1 is in between the 2 different stacks of books, meaning this one and this one go first. But the actual books go across, right, guys? Sorry. Apparently someone was trying to call me and I don't recognize the number. What is it with people? Anyways, I got asked last night if some kid, I can't remember what name, needed hockey equipment. And I'm like, you got the wrong number. And this is, I think, the second time that they've called me. Anyways, but so then this stack of books goes across, but you have your 1, your 2, and your 3. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So you just go across, but then you have step 1, step 2, step 3. But the numbers are in the middle. Okay, So we're going to do a bunch of these this morning, and then we're going to use those to do our ATC. So I'm just going to throw that over to the side. You got hockey equipment. Maybe it was you texting me. It was some random number. Oh God, it was hilarious. Sorry, Jake. I don't know who Jake is, but apparently Jake needs hockey equipment. Okay, so I did pre-cut some, yeah, I'm a visual person too, Kim, very much so, and even at work, I find I do better when I'm learning hands-on versus not hands-on. So I pre-cut a bunch of ATCs, so 2.5 by 3.5. I just have to trim the edges because I use my blade until the blade can definitely no longer be used, because I don't mind cleaning the edges. It doesn't bother me. So it's on its way out. So I like to round my corners when I'm making ATCs, because I have a book that they go into that I like to keep them all in. And I find it's just easier rather than getting like the little torn up corners. Anyways, besides the point. Okay, so I've got 2 to start. You can do your ATCs whatever you like to normally do. Typically I do it 2 layers because I have this bookbinding paper that's like super thick and awesome, and it really does hold the shape. This is about 110-pound white paper, but this is the bookbinding paper I usually use, which is a bit thicker. And then I usually layer it because I like my layers. But we're gonna just do it on the white today so you guys can see. I'm going to do it on the black paper so you guys can check out how we do this. Okay, so let's start with some of the books. And I think I want to start with the big one. You know what? I might even stick with the same colors because they were really vibrant and you guys can really see them stick out. So I used, let me just grab my list here. Ocean Opulence Soft Stage, which I believe is the color of the month, and Creamy Caramel. So Creamy Caramel, and I like this because it kind of gives you that like old school golds kind of color. Oh, my iPad decided to turn upside down, and now I'm trying to read everyone's comments upside down. There we go. Oh, yes, that's smart too. Making more relish. Like pickle relish? I forgot what color I was grabbing. Oh, Ocean Opulence. Was it Ocean Opulence? No. It was red. You know what? We're going to go with Crisp Crimson. We're going to use those 3 colors just because they're so easy to... Or do I want to do a darker green? Yeah, let's do Fresh Fields instead. The Soft Stage was for later today. Okay. Now, I'm going to need to grab my finger dauber doodles. Okay. Some more of these little finger dauber doodles. I don't think that's the technical name, but we're gonna go with it because doesn't it make you smile when I say that? I've had 3 sips of coffee, so I'm running a little on crazy this morning. Oh, thanks, Michelle. I think that was actually Kimmy had those. The little trays. I think they're usually used for something like embroidery floss, but that was I think I saw her have her inks like that, and it just sits up straight in my bag when I go out, and then I have a whole bunch of different colors. We're gonna work on this one. So again, just as a reminder, step 1, step 2, step 3. So I'm going to do a stack of books in the bottom corner. So I'm going to put my paper sort of here, and I'm going to kind of center where I want my books to be. Now I think I'm going to put some paper at the bottom. So I think I'm going to I put some paper down here, I think that's at a good place. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a tiny little piece of washi tape. Now I also had a stack of, and I probably put them away. Okay. So when I'm doing these layering stencils, because the pieces are so close, I also use some washi tape to hold it in place. And then I grab my, and I'm gonna grab my Post-it notes. Yes, I stuck them back in my drawer. Okay. So I don't want anywhere else to get ink on it, so I just like to mask off the rest of this. So I'm just inking specifically this, okay? So I think I'm gonna stick with the creamy caramel. I'm also super lazy and I don't want to find my handle, so I'm gonna do my first layer with this goldy color, caramel color, but I like it because it kind of reminds me of gold, like I said earlier. Okay, so first layer is done, and I like these because they're tiny and you can pound out a couple of them. Okay, so first layer is done, so you can see. And then so what we do is we go to the next step. So I'm just gonna peel off my Post-it notes, and I'm gonna peel out my washi here. And then this gets moved over. And so what I usually do is I line up so that the next sort of squares are there. And I'm going to lift this up so you guys can see it. And again, just cover. And I'm going to need a fourth Post-it note. Oh, have they? A couple of my round pads have, like, I don't know what it is with the sage, but you can see, like, this one has really, but I still use it. Use it until it's done. All right, so then the next step. So you'll notice you're going to cover up the previous colors that you did, and you're going to line it up so that none of the lines are touching. So each of those places now that are open to be inked have no color in them. Okay. Now, the question is do I want to do green or do I want to do red? Let's do green. So this is Fresh Fields. This is a nice, oh, that one too. It's a little. All right, so then we're gonna inkity dinkity doo. Pick this puppy up. Okay, and then once that's done, you go on to the third level. So let me just lift that up so you can see it. So now you see through the stencil where we did the gold, the caramel, and now we've done the green. And so we're going to slide this over and do the last layer, which is layer 3. So again, when you move it over, you're going to line up and cover all the places you've already added ink to, because the last bits are going to be the non-inked, and they're going to finalize these books. So try and get it as close, and I think that works the best. And then we're just going to cover this again because I don't want to get the actual ATC all yuckety. I want nice, clean white. All right, so I'm going to lift this up again so you guys can see. So now I have covered all of the ink places, and the only thing that left open should be the places without any ink, and that's where we're going to do the red. Yeah, it's weird. Some of my colors seem to last like a very, very long time, and other ones, I don't know, maybe it's like the stencil, but it's fine. I think they're made really to be disposable. All right, last crisp crimson. Ooh, sticky. All right, so now our books are done. So now we can take off all of our Post-it notes. And then when we lift off, we should have our stack of books. And there we go. Super fun. Okay, so now I wanted to do a second one with you guys, because I wanted to show you guys the really cute plants. But I think I want to do okay, so I think I want to do that's probably not equal. All right, so I'm just going to do a try and do this one-handed. So creamy caramel. Or do I want to do it? No, I want to do it a brown color, I think. Okay, I'm going to need to stick this down. Okay, I'm going to grab a brown. So Sandy Shore, Lily. Let me just double check this. Yep, Sandy Shores. Okay, so I grabbed from the other stencil the shelf, and I'm just gonna ink the shelf on here. I'm gonna do a little stack of books, but I'm gonna do one of the plants so you guys can see how that works. So here's the shelf. And I hope it's straight, but we're gonna just go with it because why not? All right, so it got our little shelf. And then I'm gonna grab our tiny little stack of books here. And I'm gonna do the same colors. So I'm gonna throw it right to the end, and I'm gonna stick it on top of the shelf. So the shelf is just lining the bottom of the book. And I'm gonna make sure I cover that up. And some washi tape to hold that in place. cover up. All right, we're gonna do the same color. So creamy caramel. Kind of like this because it kind of also reminds me of Christmas colors. Okay, so there's the creamy caramel. All right, we're gonna line up our books on top. So we're just gonna pop this over. I'm gonna go slightly over with the one book, which is fine. Okay. There we go. Cover up. Now I'm going to do red first and then green. So I'm going to ink the second layer because remember we're following 1, 2, 3 for the books. Okay. And again, remember you can see the sort of the gold underneath the stencil. So I use that to help me guide it into the correct position. And then we're gonna layer this one on top, which is number 3. Okay. Cover up. And again, we're still working on top of the shelf. All right, so you can see that we've got the red and the gold through here, and then the only open spaces are going to be where the green is going to go. So we're going to grab our little sponge, and we're going to sponge that on. Again, Post-it notes are your best friend in situations like this where you've got little areas. Okay. Okay, peel off my sticky notes, and then when we peel this back, which I kind of just moved it already, I've got my books there. All right, so now I want to add a plant. All right, I think I'm going to do the other plant. Question is what color do I want to do the pot? So I think we're going to try this plant because we're going to do this plant in the next class. So we're just going to we're going to do it slightly off too. So bottom of our plant bucket is going to go on the bottom of the shelf. And we're going to use our washi tape to hold this in place. And our Post-it notes to cover all the little bits that you don't want inked up. So right now we're just doing the first layer. What color? Actually, no. Let's do the Ocean Opulence because that was kind of a nice fun color. And we've got a brown for dirt, or do I want to do a darker dirt? Let's do a darker dirt. And we've got 2 different greens. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to do the Ocean Opulence for, oh, dude. It's fine. We're good. Ocean Opulence for the planter. Interesting enough, I got some green on here. So it kind of makes like this really cool extra green in the Ocean Opulence, so it kind of gives it a bit more of a tealy color, which is kind of cool. Okay, so there's that one. I need to get a new one for that. Oh, it says rich. Oh, okay. All right, so that was the first. Remember, so this was number 1. So we did number 1. Now we're going to do number 2 with the little number 2 beside it. So this is the dirt in the pot. So we just match it up to the top of the pot. Again, you don't want any of the ink coming out from the bottom, but you want it covered. So basically edge to edge. We're going to throw these on here and cover up where we don't want our ink to come through. And I'm going to use the Sandy Shores to add the dirt into our little pot. See, this is gardening without the mess. Oh, you know what? You get, I don't know. I guess I'm just so used to it. I don't even know where my handle is. I think it's in one of my drawers and I was just too lazy to go find it this morning. But I find if you hold it and you do it like this, you actually get a lot of control over it so that you can use sort of edge of your thing. I mean, I can also stick my finger in one of these, but sometimes I'm just lazy. Okay, so that was number 2. All right, so number 3 are the big leaves, which is this one here. So you see the little number 3, and then the number 4 for these 2 little ones. Okay, so then number 3 goes on top of the dirt, and there's sort of little divots in it where the bottom of your leaves will fit. Okay, there we go. So again, you just want to make sure you cover all the places that, just in case you don't want the ink. Okay, so the question is do I want to do dark back or do I want to do a light back? I think I'm going to do the dark ones. So I'm going to grab my Fresh Fields. Okay, and then we're going to pick this up, and then we're going to fit number 4 on top of here. And again, we're covering up all of the ink stuff. Okay, and we're just going to cover that up, and then we're going to do our soft sage. Alright, and then once that's done, we get to peel to reveal. So we're going to pull off all of our Post-it notes. We're going to pop this out, and now we've got this really cute little potted plant. Okay, so is there any other ones of the bookshelves that you want to see before we start getting into doing our designing for the ATCs? So just throw it in the comments. I'm just going to take a sip of coffee. We can do some more at the end too if you want. Okay. Nobody's mentioned it, so why don't we start with making these some ATCs. So I'm just going to stick this over to the side. Again, you'll want to clean this if you're going to go in with different colors, which this afternoon I am. So I'm going to use a bit of soap and water and then some like alcohol just to get the residue off of this as much as possible because I don't want to transfer any color. Thanks, guys. And don't forget that the big one makes this really cool big bookshelf, which I think is fantastic. Okay. All right, so let's have some fun designing our bookshelves. Okay. I say okay a lot, or to be honest. Kim can attest to that. Okay, so So I pulled some papers. I don't know. Actually, that would probably work. So I have this Flora paper, which I think will work really nicely. It looks like really old books. Yes, I know. Isn't it awesome? I love it. Okay, so... Ooh, I even have like pretty gold paper to match this. Okay. Now, I like using my bits, like my extra little tiny pieces. Trying to see what I have here. Green. So I'm gonna grab the stamp because I want to add some of the little icons. Decide what I wanted to do. I think I want to do a little coffee mug. So I'm just gonna stamp that. So I'm going to use the Wicked Black, and I'm just gonna stamp. So I'll do the corner. Okay. And I think I want to do a little stack of books. Now I'm going to use sentiments on these, but I wanted to start with this. Okay, so I'm going to just cut those out of my way. Okay, so I think I want to do a little coffee mug there. And I'm going to do strip of paper here and strip of paper here. So let's see what other patterns we've got. So I want to do the florals, or do I want to do the gold? I want to do the dark green. Oh, there's a really pretty plum color. This paper line kind of reminds me of wallpaper. I don't like that. I like the green and I like the... I think I've kind of decided what I liked. Okay. Ooh, I know I've got that on my desk to work on next. I'm super excited. People are gonna love it. They are stunning. Gonna trim this up here. Okay, so basically I'm just cleaning up a little bit of the stripy paper. Okay. All right, so that is okay. a little too thick. All right, so maybe we'll just go with the gold. That's kind of fun. Okay, so we are going to grab our adhesive. So I'm just going to put the edges of the ATC so that they end in the green, because I don't want the white edges. So I'm just going to center that on top. Perfect. And then I'm going to have to use white liquid glue for this one because it's too tiny. I got butterfingers today. Make sure she's on there. Okay. Then we're just gonna trim her up. We're just gonna do our little corners. I could pop this through the corner rounder again, but it's got adhesive on it, and I don't typically like to do that because then it gets all your corner rounder a little gummy. All right, so there we go. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like wallpaper. I kind of like that, which is fun. And then I'm gonna do a little sentiment, I think. Or do I don't know if the icon's gonna fit on here. I might put the icon on the back. Maybe I'll put reading is lit. My weekend is all booked. Reading is lit because it's awesome. All right, so let's just stamp that sentiment up. Oop. That's a little juicy. Make sure that turned out perfect. I love when everything works well. Okay. So again, I'm just gonna trim this up off camera real quick. Okay, it's 1 1/4 by, I think that would end up being 3/8 of an inch. And I think I want to do her on pink, so I'm just going to trim the edges here. Oof. Tummy's making tons of little noises. Yes, you can make it as a bookmark as well. I actually stamped the other image on the stamp, the books with the potted plant on top. And I have some bookmarks, some wooden ones, and I think I've still got some acrylic ones that you could Mod Podge it on too. I think I want... Okay, so that's... half an inch. Okay. The other classes, I think there's, okay, 11, 1, which is another class with me, 3 and 5, I think. But Kim just posted or just tagged you in the post the classes. Usually, I think we do them every 2 hours, just to give everybody some time, because I know a lot of the time mine tend to run over. Dropping things today. I think I might add 3 little enamel dots, and then she's done. Okay, so now I have the other one to do. And again, I think I wanted to do plain, but I think I want to, I don't know, the dark pink. This one's kind of hard because the colors in here are, what do I want to do crazy? Wonder, does this come with stickers? Let's see what I got here. Oh, I got some letter stickers. I do. Okay. I got some flower stickers. Okay, let's see. Maybe I'll go with the darker paper. I don't know if that's pretty too. Would I rather? Decisions, decisions, decisions. Cut a little piece off of this. Alright. Okay, sorry, oh, not even close. I just saw that. Yeah, you know, and the funny thing is I looked at it this morning, but sometimes when you look at something, it just goes immediately out of your brain, and that's what it did this morning, because I was so worried about getting to this class, to having fun with you guys this morning, that it just clearly didn't register. So the next class is at 10. There's one at 11:30, 1 o'clock, which is me, and 2 o'clock. All right, so I'm just gonna put this on the bottom here. So it kind of looks like it's on a shelf. I'm just gonna trim that off, throw it in my pile. And then we're going to trim this down. I guess I could have gone a little thinner on this. I want to do just a little bit on the side here, so let's take a peek at how thick I need it. Okay. Okay, I can get away with a 3/4 inch piece. Just grab my cutter again. I fell in love with this paper. So I think this is what we're going to use. So I need 3/4 of an inch. And I want some of that green and pinks to come through. So I think I might even grab 2 3/4 of an inch pieces and see which one I like better. Hopefully that's top to be the flag. Or do I want to do the whole piece? No, it's not long enough. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Actually, I think I like this piece better now that I've cut it. Okay. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to trim that off. Liquid glue this puppy on. Okay, and then we're just gonna trim that up. Okay, and then I want to do that little coffee cup now. Where did I stick it? There you go. Okay. So I'm just cutting it out, and then I will pop it on top of the stack of books. I'm just going to quickly color this in with some Copics because I stamped it on some Copic paper. So that was C4 and a bit of C1 for the smoke. I guess it's not smoke, steam. Okay, and I think I want to do sort of a pinky color. So this was an R21. And I think I'm going to do the bottom sort of like it's a pottery kind of color. So maybe 43, E43. Oh, there's a cardinal outside of my window and he's screaming. Okay, actually I think I'm going to just liquid glue this guy on. Okay, and then I like to keep calm and read books. Do something fun with this. So we're going to trim this. Just gonna okay, so I want to do what I do pink. So a neat thing you can do is you can edge the corners of your paper. Now this is regular paper, so it does bleed a little bit. That's why I'm going really quick on these. Just because I want the edges to be that sort of cute pink color. So then it looks like I've matted it, but I haven't. So I haven't added any extra size to this. I've just added some. You can also do it with like a gold wax if you have gold wax. And I think there would be kind of cute. I'm gonna fix that S. Okay. I probably will end up edging these, but this just kind of shows you what you could do fairly quickly with the stencils. Yeah, no, I'm done. So Dallas can go ahead if she wants. Sorry, I was just reading comments. That's why I kind of blinked out there. Yep, so that's the sort of tutorial on the stencil and how to use it with the numbers and doing the layering. And those are the two little ATCs that we made, and Dallas is up next. So I will see you guys at 1 o'clock, and just tag me if you have any questions about the layering stencil. I can always hop on later if need be again and just do another quick overview of them. But I will be using the stencil again in my 1 o'clock class, okay? All right, guys, have fun. Enjoy Dallas's next class, which she's going to go live in a minute. All right, guys, bye.